Alright, so we got a quick introduction to the ls command. Now let's see what other options we can use with it. Again, the ls command lists the content of a directory. If we use ls-l, it will do a long listing. If we use ls-a, it will show us hidden files. If we use ls-r, it will list the names in reverse order. If we use ls-t, it will show us new files first. And if we use ls-rt, it will show us a listing in reverse time, so older files and folders first. Let's see how this works. So right now I'm in my home directory, and if I type ls, I can see the content of my home directory, all of these directories, or folders in other words, desktop documents and so on. Let's say I want to display the content of the temp directory. I can do that easily by typing ls /temp. And now I can see the directories that I just created and some other files that I've created, including test file, test file 2, and x files. Let's see how the options work. Now if I type ls-l using the -l option and /temp, notice how different the output looks. This is what we call the long listing with ls. What I want you to focus on for now is the very first letter or symbol on the far left. D stands for directory. And notice how in Kali, the directories are colored in blue by default. So you have dir1 and testdir. These both are directories with the letter D on the far left. The dash symbol signifies a file, as can be seen here next to the test file 2, and x files. Let's say I want to display the content of the dir1 directory. I can easily do that by typing ls/temp/dir, and I can see that inside dir1 I have dir2. So what I'm trying to say here is that you don't have to cd into a directory to see its content. You can do that from anywhere in the system by typing ls space and the full path. Now let's see what the -a does. If I type ls-al/temp, I'll see a lot more output. See all of these entries colored by green and preceded by a dot? These are hidden files. This is why we didn't see them in the first time we used ls-l. Using the -a shows us the hidden directories and files. And usually these are preceded, like I said, by a dot. Notice the top two, the dot and the dot. We've seen these before with the cd. Let's understand a little bit more how this works. Let me do an ls-al on the directory 2 under dir1 and temp. Notice that the directory 2 is empty. All that I can see there is the dot and dot. Let's cd to dir2. Now, like I explained when we were looking at the cd, the dot signifies the current working directory. The dot was up one directory. So now if I type cd dot, in theory, I should still remain where I am because the dot signifies the current directory. Let's see if this works. I'm going to type cd space dot, and notice that my working directory hasn't changed. I'm still exactly where I am. If I type cd space dot, I should in theory move up one directory to dir1. Let's try that. cd space dot, and I'm in dir1. Now if I type it again, cd space dot, I'm going to move up one directory, and now I'm in temp. Can you guess where I'll be if I do that one more time? We've already seen that. cd space dot, and I'm back to root. I hope now this clarifies the difference between dot and dot and how we can use them in different manners. Let's look at another ls option. First, I'm going to do the one that we've already seen, ls-l/temp, so you can compare with the other one. Now I'm going to do the -r one. Like we said, the -r lists in reverse name. ls-rl space/temp. Notice how the output is now reversed. dir1 is now at the bottom. So it's kind of like when you're in Windows, Microsoft Windows, you're sorting by name. Now let's try to list the new files first, and I do that by typing ls space -tl/temp, and notice that the first file was created at 10:44, the second at 10:36, the third at 10:27. So now I'm listing, or I'm sorting by the newest file first. And I'll let you try the last one by yourself, the ls-rt. So far so good, I hope. Nothing too complicated. On the contrary, super simple stuff. We've seen how to change directory, we've seen how to create directories and files, and we've seen how to list the content of directories after we created some files and folders inside them.